And join us next month for the September report.
His name was Gary Cooper. In a time now fast receding, he was the greatest of all movies.
Today on Turner Classic Movies, Summer Under the Stars is inspired by Gary Cooper in The Wedding Night. Then Gary strikes gold when Mr. Deeds goes to town. And Coop reinvents himself in Meet John Doe. Add a little TCM to your coffee.
On the Town was the first musical that had ever been shot outside. And it was a big musical. And that's the first time that MGM had ever done that.
Drinking alone, partner? We don't like that around here.
We don't come to it now,
Looks like you're trying to ditch us, partner.
Wow, you can't get away with it. Reckon you're stuck with us.
The plan had been to just take the fellas to New York for location. All the location stuff was all when the three sailors are going around New York, around town, before they connect with the girls. So there was no reason to take the girls. Well, Ann Miller went into Arthur Freed and cried big tears and said, how you going to take everybody to New York and not take us? Well, Arthur Freed is a big softy, and he took us to New York. Paid for all three of us to go to New York and put us up in hotels and everything. So there was one shot at the very end of the picture where the girls are saying goodbye to the sailors. And all it was shot from behind us, and the crane pulled up. And that was all. That was the only shot that we did in New York.
Ann Miller joins up with three sailors who wreak havoc on New York City when on leave in On the Town, Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. as our Summer Under the Stars continues, only on Turner Classic Movies.
I have been walking on ball fields for 16 years. I have had the great honor to have played with these great veteran ball players. I have been given fame and undeserved praise. I have a mother and father who fought to give me help. I have a wife, a companion for life. People all say that I've had a bad break. But today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Gary Cooper as Lou Gehrig in The Pride of the Yankees. Tonight at 12:30 a.m. Part of Summer Under the Stars on Turner Classic Movies. Sometimes the way a man lives is the greatest sport of all.
These footprints lead to the happiest motion picture in many, many, many a year.
Officer, we just got married.
Paul, if the honeymoon doesn't work out, let's not get divorced.
Let's kill each other.
Let's have one of the maids do it. I hear the service here is wonderful.
Barefoot in the Park, the barest, rarest, unsquarest love play that ever left Broadway to find happiness on the motion picture screen.
Forget it. They're never coming out.
How long's it been now?
5 days.
That must be a hotel record.
Wait a minute, Paul! Where are you going?
Work. I have to go to work. I don't do this for a living, you know.
Can't you call them and tell them you can't come in today? Tell them you're sick.
I am sick, but I have to go in today.
Last night you promised you'd never leave me. Thank you, Mr. Dooley. Next time you're in New York, just call me up. Did you miss me today?
No.
Why not?
Because you called me 8 times. I don't talk to you that much when I'm home.
Martini to wash down a pill.
It'll make you feel better.
I had a martini at home. It made me sick. That's why I'm taking the pill.
Barefoot in the Park, the fun-filled story of a typical honeymoon. It's always an uphill struggle.
Oh, darling.
Did you know it's 6 flights?
No, it isn't. It's only 5.
What about that big thing hanging outside the building?
It's not a flight. It's a stoop.
You look like a student. It climbs like a flight.
And their neighbors are most charming.
Do you know that we have some of the greatest weirdos in the country living right here in this building?
No kidding. Like who?
Well, like to begin with, in apartment 1C are the Boscos, Mr. and Mrs. J. Bosco.
Who are they?
Mr. and Mrs. J. Bosco are a lovely young couple who just happen to be of the same sex.
Their bridal heaven in Greenwich Village.
Well, in the first place, Paul, it's just a little hole. And in the second place, what do you want me to do?
Go to pieces, like me. What's happening here? What is this? What are you doing?
I'm trying to get you all hot and bothered, and you're summing up with a jury.
It's the Wake Up, Break the Rules, Rock the Boat, Live It Up Comedy of the Year. Why don't you fall over laughing and go barefoot in the park?
Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. 24 hours a day, Turner Classic Movies offers access to the greatest films of Hollywood and from around the world. And you should never be in the dark as to what's playing on TCM at any given moment. What you need is our terrific viewer's guide called Now Playing. Each month, Now Playing takes you inside Turner Classic Movies. For 50% off the cover price, you can get a year's subscription to Now Playing, which has complete listings of every film shown each month, who stars in it, who directed it, what it's about. All that and more at your fingertips. But it's much more than a program guide. Each month, subscribers receive a beautifully designed magazine brimming with rare and exquisite photographs of your favorite stars. Inside, you'll find information on TCM's innovative festivals and tributes, Hollywood history, movie trivia, and a challenging crossword puzzle to test your movie knowledge. Plus, each month, I write a cover story that takes a look at a movie legend. To order your subscription, simply visit our award-winning website at tcm.com or call 1-800-TCM-1002. Or you can write to Now Playing at P.O. Box 420933, Palm Coast, Florida, 32142-0933. For just $12.95, 12 issues of Now Playing can become your guide to the greatest movies of all time from Turner Classic Movies.
What are you talking about?
Only 6 months to live. That's what the doctor said.
Well, I'm sorry, Uncle, but maybe the doctor's wrong. There isn't much time. They may be on their way to the district attorney's office right now. Call him up, Uncle. He'll listen to you. Say anything, just so they don't arrest me.
But I'm going to die. Don't you understand? I'm going to die.
All right, so you're going to die. But you're an old man. You've lived your life. I haven't lived mine. Mine's hardly begun. Think of me, Uncle. Think what will happen to me if you don't get me out of this. You're not even listening. You don't care what happens to me any more than the others. You'd let me go to prison. All you're thinking of is your own miserable life. Well, you can die for all I care. Die!
Just watching Betty Davis on the screen was empowering to women. It was like, this is what's possible. This is the range and depth that is possible for a woman. Enough already with these one-dimensional women. I mean, she expanded our range of possibilities.
It was so brave what she was doing. I mean, she set a precedent for so many other actresses to attempt to do what she was doing. She was the only woman that was doing that stuff.
I started going to the movies probably around 1940, and so she was really the reigning belle of Hollywood at that time. So I saw her as a child and was, you know, she was as big a star as there was at that time.
Betty had a wonderful sense of humor. Wonderful. It could be a little caustic or a little bit confrontive once in a while, but it was always funny.
Da-da-dee, da-dee-da. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. I'd like to see you take me.
Anything to oblige, anything to oblige, anything to oblige a lady. Hi, Bella.
One of the signs of greatness in an actress, even more so than an actor, because women are supposed to be beautiful, are the ones who all they care about is fueling the character and not being stars. And when they're really good, that's what makes them stars. And I think it's why women loved her, because they knew that she was willing to go way out on a ledge in terms of how she looked. She never played it safe.
I had lunch with her at the Bel Air Hotel. I was startled how short she was and tiny, because she has such an imposing presence. And at one point during lunch, she said to me, "My advice to you, dear, at the beginning of an illustrious career, is that not everybody can be your friend, so you choose your enemies. And when you see them, you walk up to them and you say, 'You are my enemy.' And do you know how you can recognize your enemy?" I said, "How?" And she said, "Anyone who gets in the way of your work."
It has taken me many years of ruling England, my Essex, to discover that a ruler must be without friendship, without mercy, and without love.
Now, to me, that's a very telling story about her.
Ronald Reagan plays alongside Betty Davis, who is diagnosed with a brain tumor and then falls in love with her doctor in Dark Victory. Friday at 11:15 a.m. as our Summer Under the Stars continues, only on Turner Classic Movies.
Among the many personal treasures of Her Majesty the Queen comes a jolly good show of rare cinematic treasures making their way across the pond.
Perfectly splendid.
Turner Classic Movies presents Lost and Found, Teddington Studios.
Genius.
2 splendidly spiffing evenings of ripping yarns from one of Blighty's most brilliant studios, featuring